And what I do like about it is Ted inviting Isaiah, which I think he also knew how much Eva would love that. Mona is, I feel like she's very interested in getting laid.
They went out there and said, you know what? We gonna go live, and then look what happened. Chelsea Cat is going to Tokyo.
Because she wants answers. Like, I think she's just so frustrated. Like, she's just like, let me know what the fuck is going on, because nothing makes sense. Why are you breaking into Nicole Dupree's office? When Nicole was at the country club, I was like, oh, the sexiest grandmother that ever lived, or some shit like that.
I feel like a lot of what Vanessa was happening with her is there's this guilt of everything that happened to Doug. So she's trying to right some of the...
Hey y'all, welcome back to Loving Them Gates, a Beyond the Gates weekly podcast where Brian H. Butters and Queen PR dissects the latest episodes of the new hit show Beyond the Gates. We'll break down all the plot twists, character arcs, and iconic moments with our unique perspectives and a whole lot of love. Welcome back to Loving Them Gates after a very exciting week of episodes.
Oh, that's understatement.
Oh, they said, oh, we coming back full time. We coming back hard. Okay, so real quick, before we get into that, I do want to just shout out the cast and crew again of Beyond the Gates for all of the love that we've been getting on social media. If you are not following us on Instagram, Loving Them Gates, please hit that follow button and chat more gates with us as we wait for more episodes. And also, we have a hotline now. So we are going to be, we love reading the comments, and we definitely are going to make sure that we engage that way as well, because these theories and these comments are hilarious, so entertaining. But we also want to hear your hot takes directly calling into our hotline. Yeah, so the number is in the description. We're going to be featuring some of these hot takes on the show and giving our live reactions to them. Yeah. So we want to hear from you. So leave your first name.
Live?
I'm sorry?
Did you say live?
I meant live reaction as in like how we listen to it raw, not like, you know.
I mean, but if the people...
We are very interested in doing live streams. I'm not even going to lie to you. Yeah. We do live stream for our wrestling content. But we do want to go live with the gatekeepers. So let us know if you want to talk your hot takes with us live, because we would love to do that. We love our YouTube community, our Facebook community, our Instagram community, our X, and I can't believe I said X. Wow. But yes, we would love to go live.
Shout out to the homies at Blue Sky. I know I don't be posting on there all the time, but when I do, there's some love. It's like, it's so many social media accounts and TikTok. Yeah. And sometimes I ain't gonna lie, we're a 2-person band.
Right.
So I may forget the like hit.
How do you, what do you call the Blue Sky, post on Blue Sky? A skeet or some shit?
That's what they called it. It's auntie called it skeeting.
Okay.
At first, I don't know if they still do that.
Okay. All right. Well, we love our gatekeepers.
We've seen so many. I mean, remember there was you remember
I know
Meerkat?
What you're thinking about. No, I don't remember.
That was a live stream. The other black one I can't remember. But yeah,
it's been a lot. But we appreciate all our gatekeepers in all the communities, and we want to engage with you all live because the show is really getting spicier and spicier. So
Chelsea was live this week.
She was
on the show, but I don't know what they call that platform.
Yeah, right. I don't remember either, but yeah. So we definitely want to do more. Call the hotline. Leave your theories. Leave your hot takes, because we want to get into it all. Okay, so shall we get into last week's recap?
Where are we going?
Okay, so first,
take me there.
So I want to start with just because the gatekeepers have been very vocal about it, and it's Randy and Mona.
Yes.
So we've talked about them before, and I've always joked that like Mona is. This sounds crazy, but like I feel like she's very interested in getting laid, but like. Because everyone around her is, you know, like even Nicole had, like, she's hearing that Nicole got 2 boyfriends, you know, Eva's in a relationship, Leslie has a boyfriend, and I feel like she sees something in Randy that maybe like her intentions aren't that, but I feel like there's a layer of like intrigue there. But at the same time, two things can be true at the same time. She can be a church woman, like a God-fearing woman who wants to bring, or, and that's, how, that's what you want to do. You want to bring people, to the church. You want to try to lead them in the right direction and stuff like that. So I do feel like there is an innocence there of like wanting Randy to do the right thing and knowing that he might need God, he might need the church. But also I feel like she's also like, you cute, you handsome.
You got those big muscles. Something along the lines, you got those big muscles, but God got you. He can carry that weight.
Ooh.
She was spitting that game. No, I got a message.
Okay, wait. So she was flirting in church speak? Okay. Yeah. That's a thing.
Oh, I know. I know.
Oh my God.
I mean, we saw that in Power with
We did. We did. Oh wow. Yes, we did. All
right. I feel for Mona. I've been there. In church. I told you this years ago. Like, growing up in church, everybody was related to me. So all my friends was free to date. Except me. And a couple of them wasn't, but they've been friends for so long and, whatever. And I'm seeing Mona in this situation. And I'm like, dang, it's like her options are slim. And Randy's not a bad looking guy. Randy makes decisions. It's like, bro, man up. But he's not a bad looking guy. And you remember that episode way back when Ashley's mother and Jan. That's my girl, Jan. Was it Jan and Leslie talking, or maybe it was Jan and? But they was talking, and they was like, "Girl, you need some male companionship."
And that was Mona's breaking point. I'm glad you brought up Jan because it was Jan who went on that cruise.
Yeah,
who like fell in love with some guy on the cruise and like was coming back with like maybe not a fiance.
That's reminded me of White Lotus.
Yeah.
I just told her about that show.
Okay, we love White Lotus. Any White Lotus fans, let us know.
But then you say that, it was like, oh snap! That's Jan.
That's Jan. So I think that's when Mona was like, I don't really have anyone to talk about or whatever. And I think any like group of girlfriends can definitely relate to that. Like if it always comes in phases, especially like as you go through life where, all your friends are married, you're the one single one, or like most of your friends are going through something, and
it's for guys too.
You have that FOMO, exactly. Like you have that FOMO, like, should I be in a relationship? Whatever. So I think Mona is definitely intrigued by Randy in a lot of different ways.
But she's having that conflict because she's trying to live her life straight and narrow on a straight and narrow path. Right. But God give us these feelings for a reason, and humans were made to procreate, and they use a great way.
I have a question then. Do you think, as much as she condemned Randy for licking the ketchup off of why am I forgetting this Lynette's finger, do you think there's a part of Mona that was a little like, oh, that looks interesting?
1,000,000%.
Like, okay, because if my thing is, Randy, if you're willing to do that in public, it's like, what you like closed doors, you know what I'm saying?
And this is where the spirituality meets the flesh, and is and that's why I said I felt for Mona, because I could see honestly Mona trying so hard. And kind of, in a sense, being like Nicole. Like, no, I just want to do things the right way. Early Nicole. And Mona gonna slip and fall, y'all.
Right.
And
that's okay.
I'm worried about her heart. Because she's the type of person, it seems like she doesn't just let anybody. And she, right now, because she sees potential, and that's dangerous. What I've learned from my friends who are women is dangerous to fall in like or love with potential. She's going to see potential in Randy of, you could be a good guy. You just caught up with the wrong people. You caught up with Joey Armstrong. Look what Isaiah's done, right? Yeah. We see Joey Armstrong as a mentor, but Isaiah has moved on and did betterment for himself. Right. And that's what I think she sees. She don't obviously know about Isaiah, but that's why I'm like, But I feel for her. But
I feel for her, and I am so into whatever this could possibly turn into. Just because, and I say this all the time, but we're watching The Gates, and I would love to know if y'all feel the same way. I love when different characters in the universe interact with each other that don't normally interact with each other. I think it's really cool. Like this past week, seeing Eva and Grayson interact in the clinic. Like completely different setting, completely different character dynamic, completely different everything. Eva doesn't know 90% of what we know about Grayson, you know, so it's those type of scenes that I really like.
And it was all like they all in the same universe, so let's see it. You know?
Right. I absolutely love that kind of like universe building, and I think the Gates is doing a great job at that, and I also think they're doing a great job at the callbacks. So Mona and Rennie, very like, I'm so into that. So let's go into Eva real quick because it was her birthday, or I guess they're celebrating her pre-birthday.
Yeah,
and it also just shows how close her and Kat's birthdays are, because Kat's birthday was not that far, not that long ago. Yeah, wow. Cringe.
But is it Eva a year older, or are they the same age? I can't remember.
No, remember they were born. They're like not too far apart.
That's right.
Yeah, okay. I think that's like the scandal of it all.
Yeah, that's true.
And probably why they was like, let's get the fuck out of here. And I just gotta say, and I know I say this all the time, just bringing up Leslie, and it's like, Leslie does not deserve a daughter like Eva. As much as Eva has her faults and she annoys me most of the time, but she is a really good person, and she really tries, and she sees the world in a very different way than the Dupree world, that privileged side. She just feels like more of like a well-rounded, like she's a realist, like a real person. And her birthday's coming up, and Leslie is using that as an excuse to like have this public family outing with the three of them. And it annoys me too, because I'm like, Leslie, Eva is not 5 years old. You do not need to celebrate your birthday with Ted. Like, there is no reason for that. Like, Ted and Eva have their own relationship. She fucking works for him, for God's sake, which I love when I also see scenes of her like working for him. So we did get to see that last week. So it's like, they have a relationship. If Eva wants to celebrate her birthday with her dad, like, they can figure that out. Like, Leslie, we do not need you. And what I do like about it is Ted inviting Isaiah, which I think he also knew how much Eva would love that.
Yeah.
But also it adds a buffer between the three of them. So good thinking on that, Ted. And Isaiah suggests cooking at her house. Yeah, that was Eva's house. Yeah, that was Eva's house.
Keep them out of the park. Keep them out of public.
And then for Isaiah's sake, it's a beautiful thing to do for your girlfriend that you know, they dropped the L word. We'll get into that. So that was a really good way of how that like came about, and like Leslie's reaction to it, and Ted being like, "This is great," you know, like, you know, da 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 da. But I just hate how Leslie is not appreciating what's good for her daughter, which shows that everything that you do is for Leslie. It is not for Eva. That's all performative. Because how are you clowning your daughter's boyfriend who wants to cook a home cooked meal for her parents on her birthday? Like, you know, how are you shitting on that initially? Like, how are you, you know, talking smack the entire time? How are you know what I mean? I'm just like, mind you, Ted sees the effort and it's like, wow, this is amazing. You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel about Eva's whole pre-birthday celebration?
I thought it was perfect. I thought that Eva celebrating in the house was perfect. Also, keep them out of public, because let's just say Shanice's aunt had came in town and she saw that. Yeah, she's not going to accept.
Great point.
She's not going to see Ted, you know, doing honorable by his daughter. She'll say, "Oh, so y'all having a double date?" That's the first, because that's the optics.
Oof, yeah,
you know what I mean.
Not good. Not good.
If anything, I would have like, okay, Ted, maybe you should have taken her out to dinner by yourself, you know. But I do like he did start to create that boundary. But my issue has always been with Ted is it's reactive. It's never proactive. He always creates the boundary when somebody else gets irritated or hurt. But overall, you know, I'm happy for Eva. It feels like she can stop being I didn't
Miss
have
Victim.
Yeah, and I actually love the gifts. You know,
I think that was like really. Oh wait, you mean from Ted?
Yeah, him saying this is what I would have got you. Because at the end of the day, we also like, nobody brings this up. Ted is a victim in this situation.
He was lied to. He didn't get to be in his daughter's life.
Yeah, and he loves, even though the stuff with Martin be questionable, just feel like he should do that. But you can see I'm not going to use that term. He loves He loves his daughters having a father-daughter. He loves being a father of girls. Like, you see it with Kat. You know, that's why Kat was so hurt, because it's like, I'm daddy's little
ultimate
girl.
Daddy's girl.
Yeah, and Eva would have been, like, if in the different circumstances, I believe both of them, they would have had their spats, you know, for sure. But if they grew up together, they would have been the best of friends. He would have made sure that they were raised to
He was also lied to. And the fact that he didn't want to divorce his wife, they could have moved accordingly at that time. So I love, Eva and Ted's relationship, how it's growing. I do think she needs to continue to set boundaries with Leslie. And I do think being with Isaiah definitely helps that. Because she has something that she's fighting for, which is her relationship. And now that they dropped the L word with each other, they love each other. So now the stakes are even higher. And I just love that Isaiah is such a good sport when it does come to her mom. But then also Isaiah has his own, which is what they relate to. Like, he has his own tumultuous relationship with his family to a certain extent, and feeling accepted and feeling like an outsider and wanting to still, not disappoint his mom, and then his complicated relationship. I guess it's not complicated to him with Joey, but I guess to the outward, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think that just goes to show you that nothing is like black and white. Like, Isaiah could have been, that lost child that went in that horrible direction. And it took someone like Joey, who's considered the villain of the show, to be a mentor to him, taught him skills, taught him how to cook. Again, callbacks. And I want to know, I think I heard this previously, and I love this, and I don't know if I'm working myself into a shoot, but did they say that Joey has a cooking Instagram? Like, I feel like someone mentioned that, and I really want that to be true. You mentioned
that here. Let
me know, gatekeepers,
like
please.
John Lindstrom, or
no, like in the show, a character joked about his cookstagram or some shit like that. Maybe
Vanessa.
Maybe because then one of the first dates that he took Vanessa on is he closed down Uptown, I believe, and like cooked in their kitchen. And then he talks about cooking and the fact that he passed that along to Isaiah. Like, those little like tidbits to me are like so special and important. It also just goes to show, like, you really just have to have good intentions. It doesn't matter, like, your background and stuff like that. So that's why I love hearing about Isaiah and Joey's relationship. So I'm very happy for Eva. Like, it seems like she's finally getting poured into the way that she deserves to be. Strong relationship with her dad despite her mom.
She gets to be an auntie.
She gets to be an auntie. Let's move on there, because we're finally getting the Cotillion next week, which is huge. But I think Eva was the perfect person for Samantha to call.
But real quick, do you like the build up? Like, we're wrestling fans, right? So we're used to building up to WrestleMania, SummerSlam. Yeah. Do you like how they built up to this and Winterfest? Like, it's been drawn out versus this is the event, and then tomorrow it happens.
Absolutely, because I think it lends itself to real life.
Yeah.
Where it's like, because if you are in the Cotillion and it's in, let's say, mid-May, you are preparing in January. You are, you're starting to get the materials in the mail, and you have to start thinking about what you're wearing. You know what I mean? And then your family's all in, and everyone. It's kind of like prom almost too, where it's just like everyone knows it's coming. So it does show those little like everyday things that have to do with it, and then you have that extra layer of Samantha being an outsider at this event as well. So I think I think it was great, and also it's real life. Like, I think Cotillion, we're in Cotillion season, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, you would know more than I would.
Yeah, I know my nephew was a part of one about a month ago, but I just want to assume that like the springtime is when it happens.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it, and I love the build up. I hate that this close to it is when Samantha is feeling the pressure.
I do too, but I feel like it's normal. You know what I mean? I do love the fact that it was Eva, because when you look at that family, who else could relate? Nobody. And with the Eva say, we got grit, and that's a grit you can't teach, because life experiences
so valuable
that they were not in control of dictated that grit. So this is what I love, where Eva finds her place in her family. You know what I mean?
Because that is her family.
Yeah, and I've always loved how Martin has embraced her. Didn't like necessarily talking trash.
Yeah, that was messy. I mean, I don't know if I would ever forgive my brother for that. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, but he knocked his father down. He was upset, but it was like, okay, well, I got a sister. Come on in, and so it made sense. But I think it's gonna be very interesting. I think Eva gonna find her way. She goes, I'm not going, I'm gonna just help. And I do love also, She told June, "I'm gonna do your hair free of charge." That's probably gonna be the best hairstyle June's had.
Oh my god, I cannot wait for the family moments. I have been reading a lot. I know we'll go into next week, but I have been reading a lot about how the Cotillion is going to be an event that really shifts things in Fairmount Crest.
You've been reading? Like you usually stay away from the spoilers.
I be on the socials, and I can't help but see that. But if you think about it, we were just talking about the anniversary party a year ago, and that's when everything kind of like everything was on its head, and also we were introduced to the new Ted year anniversary actually recently, which is wild.
That's why they keep giving them scenes.
I know, we all want to see him and Nicole together. Also, we were watching that Montel Jordan video, and I was like, that's Nicole. That's tonight. Nicole. Waiting for time.
We'll get into Nicole soon. We still got to finish with the Cotillion.
But yes, the Cotillion. That Anastasia.
And Jesse. Or Chessie. What's her name?
I think her name is Francesca, and they call her Chessie, which is I don't hate it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I love long female names with like cute. Like, you like Chessie though? I kind of do. I'm not even gonna lie to you because it's unique. But she is a bitch.
Whoa.
Because she made it seem like she was cool with Samantha, and she was apologizing for her grandmother. And she really was like doubling down, especially talking about what's that little fuck boy that Samantha thankfully didn't end up dating or fucking or anything like that. Nathan?
That sounds about right.
Okay, cool. I'll be really proud of myself. That's it. But yeah, and I love that Samantha did hold her own in the moment, but like Chessie, acting like she was all buddy with Samantha, and it ended up just like really insulting her even more. And I was just like, girl. And the thing with like that in community environment, and with Anastasia, her grandmother, and Nicole having to dress her down. But you never could really get your one up on people like that, because for Anastasia's sake, like, because my instinct is to slap the shit out of her. But like, you can't do that in a country club as a Dupree. You can't, that you would literally give Anastasia the most ammunition for the rest of your life. You will be giving Anastasia ammunition about how she took you there. She could possibly sue you.
Yeah.
So like you never really win with people like that in those environments, and they take advantage of that. And we always talk about where you meet people and you can tell that they never got slapped in the mouth, right? Because they be talking out their face crazy. And Anastasia and Chessie is one of those type of people, especially Anastasia. As an adult, I feel like you walk up to people's tables, you bring up their personal business, you judge them, you scorn them and walk away. Like those are the type of people that never got their ass whooped.
Yep.
But you really just gotta let them be them. And I know everyone, especially if you grew up in like a black church or in a community like the Gates, and like you've come across women like her, a boss, like people that like that they know that you can't do nothing about it.
It was
horrible,
buddy.
Horrible.
I really hope they don't fight at the Cotillion or even afterwards. Because
we all know Samantha's winning.
Yeah, and she's better than that. What?
No, I just remember that they can't find Donnell at this moment. So, but let's talk about last week particularly, though. I love the pep talk that Eva gave Samantha.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. And Auntie Eva is the perfect person to give her that kind of advice. We were laughing at the family dynamic in the house because it was just so funny of like Eva and them leaving the room for Eva to talk to Samantha and then just coming right back in.
I didn't even have a cup of coffee.
It was like, water. We're just going to continue this conversation and give you the love that you need there.
You also saw Big Brother Love.
I was just going to say that
with
gift.
Terrell.
That gift was beautiful.
It was amazing. I know as somebody who's very close to my sister, who's almost 18 months younger than me. That's exactly what I would have done in those situations.
You're always a star. No. You always shine like a star in my eyes or something like that. Okay.
He got his own thing going on. He's upset that, Jessica's like, look, I'm gone. Like, he trying to hit it for the first time. He's never had sex. She's had sex. And he's had his own thing.
He don't want her to move on to California and them not having that special moment between them.
No, he don't want nobody else to get it after even putting in this. No, but you're right, though. And it's going to hurt.
Yeah, and that happens because when you're in a high school relationship, you think that's the end all be all. It feels so heavy, It's like, it's always that one partner that's like, of course we're gonna go to college together and plan our lives. And the other side is like, this was high school. I'm trying to venture out in college. So, you know, it is what it is. But I do hope they at least have a special night at Cotillion, something that they could look back on together. Yeah. Because his family really convinced her to be a part of it. I think it's one of those situations, no matter what her beliefs are, I don't think she's ever going to regret it. I think she's going to, even if she looks back on it, it's just like, I didn't want to do this because of this. I think it's something that she'll like to look back on. And I also feel like because she comes from privilege, I'm pretty sure when you get older, you are definitely going to want your kids to benefit from the opportunities that comes with that. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be telling your daughter to go, present at Cotillion. So,
absolutely.
But I can't wait for it. I can't wait for June to be there. I can't wait for the family memories. It's going to be a payoff for a lot of different things. So that's going to be really cool. Hey, gatekeepers, make sure you subscribe to 6 Heart Media YouTube channel because we have a lot of fun Beyond the Gates content coming for you, and we recap every single week. All right, tune back in. So should we shift over to Smitty? Okay, because Smitty is definitely in way over his head right now.
Ooh, yeah, and you know it's a lot. You can see it's taking a lot on him mentally, even to the point Martin looked at him and said, "Oh, you look, yeah, like you know," and that's their connection that he could see like his husband has the weight of the world on his shoulders, and as I watch this, I'm like. Yeah, Smitty, I don't know about this one.
It might not end well. No, in a lot of different ways. And it's so like when he was like, I'm coming with you to like the final drop. Because now they're at the case where Jacob has now included the police department now. Like they're at this point where arrests are going to be happening. A bus is about to happen. You know, we know a lot is about to go down. Smitty. Sit your ass down. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, what time are we going to be there? No. We got to that point where now you sit this one out. I'll give you the information you need at the end of this, but it's time for you to like sit out. But at the same time, like Smitty, you know, he is an investigative reporter, but like this is probably one of the few times where his source is a family member.
Yeah.
Someone that's connected to so many different people that he loves. So that's got to be very nerve-wracking. And then also just wanting to see like, how is this going to end? You know what I mean? Like Leah being the target now of the investigation. So was that shocking to you, seeing her being called in by Marcel?
A little bit. It definitely was. But I loved how he played it, you know.
So good.
And I should expect more, but just, you know, the way we was introduced with him and them being, you know, in the situation, dirty cup.
Grizzled old veteran about to retire. Joey was like, no, you're not. No,
but now we see why Joey didn't want him retired. Yeah. Because he's good at his job.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, he's on to her. I'm watching the whole thing. I was like, yeah.
Because she also looked guilty as fuck.
She did.
And that also goes to show you just from just watching a lot of crime shows and stuff like that, where and they keep pointing out how Leah was scammed by Lynette, so she had financial motive to get into the blood plasma ring. So Leah's not this like hardened, queen pin, sociopath that you might have thought she was for a little bit. Like now she's just like a vulnerable person who is probably following orders, just like the orders she's giving Grayson. She's probably in the same boat, and she's like, "Oh shit, yeah, exactly." So, she looked guilty as fuck, and they were able to. They got her in their eyesight. Yeah. But yeah, poor Grayson. I feel bad for Grayson. He trapped.
Yeah, I don't know. Does Grayson live? Does he live, or does he at least go to the hospital?
I thought when he got stabbed with the scalpel. That was gonna be it for him, because someone, there has to be a sacrifice for this storyline. But then it's like gatekeepers have been putting out some crazy theories, like it might be Derek, it might be Leah even. But I feel like Grayson makes the most sense.
Yeah, but the more I look at Grayson, I'm just like, you said sacrifice. I don't think he's going to die. I think he's soap opera vet. That would also be crazy.
You don't think Grayson's gonna die?
Nah, like I said, he died in Young and the Restless. He was Ray, and he was about to marry Sharon, and he died, and that forced Sharon and Nick to kind of have to like, oh, I got you. You know enough about Young and the Restless. Sharon and Nick are like the Bill and Danny, Ted and Nicole, like the OG couple that goes together, comes together, leaves, goes together, leaves. I just think that, I think
so we might be heartbroken then.
That
if he's not the character that dies, if it's not Leah, then we're gonna be heartbroken because it's gonna be a regular person that we love.
I think it's gonna be Leah though.
I think okay.
Yeah, I think
I can see that.
Or Matt. They can sacrifice him. The guy that was in the hospital.
Oh, but didn't he flee town? Smart. If he did, he's smart. See, Grayson. That's the thing with Grayson.
What if Derek gets hurt?
I could see that
in between, and then it's like, see, Ashley, I told you, because them two was not getting close, but she wanted to tell Derek.
She did.
Like she was ready to lean back in.
You want to feel safe in those moments. Like Ashley is super vulnerable right now. Mm-hmm. Like, and we could talk about the position that she's in right now because now Noami knows. She knows that Leah's a part of it. She knows that Marcella's in danger. She knows she confronted Smitty. Mm-hmm. Which I was like, oh, okay, Ashley, because she wants answers. Like, I think she's just so frustrated. Like, she's just like, let me know what the fuck is going on because nothing makes sense. Why are you breaking into Nicole Dupree's office? Mm-hmm. Why did you go visit Matt, in the hospital? Like, she's, people are not stupid. And that's the thing where it's like Grace, the whole hospital. Garland.
Yeah.
Where it's like y'all be doing y'all dirt in this most central place with the most people that know y'all and think that is y'all gonna be low. Like, no, like everyone has noticed everything.
When Noami was inside the stairwell.
Me too.
That's probably one of them situations my heart started beating. God, I'm like, I know it's a TV show. But like Noami, that's not her. You can't touch her.
No, and she's super innocent. And I love that she's there to protect Ashley, but then again at the same time, just that fear that you had when she was in the stairwell, like, what you about to do?
But she a big sister, that's the
but
thing.
But I love the protectiveness of it, and I'm sure for Ashley, it makes her feel more secure because you are now dealing with the whole Grayson situation. It is a breakup to a certain extent, and it is just a very crazy situation. And then you also have your boss of bosses who is clearly implicated in it, who might have even been responsible for stabbing your ex-boyfriend, who's also too into and I love that Ashley was like, you know what? I think this is where we shouldn't even be talking about my relationship. Actually, if we really want to take a step back, chief of staff, we're not even supposed to be talking about this. And even Leah now, and Marcel said it, Leah gonna be a little bit uneasy right now because she's not clear on what's going on and where she stands. Because when you're summoned to the police department and police are asking you questions that you don't want to answer truthfully, most of the times they know the answers already. Yep. They just want to observe your body language. They want to see if you let out any more information. And that's exactly what Leah did, which makes her even more of a target. And then that's when we see Elon is now involved. And I love that we finally got a conversation or more conversations between Elon and Jacob about the case. And now we're at this point where the case is about to break. I want to talk about, you mentioned Noami. So she's been at the hospital a lot. She runs into Elon. Of course, she's nervous. You see Jacob's father at the hospital, you're like, oh my God, is everything okay? But they have a conversation, and did you notice the pride in Elon's eyes?
Finally
talking about Jacob.
Again, another scary conversation, because even when they was on the phone together, I was like, no, Jacob, don't get shot. Because it was like, we talked about just different stories in different worlds where that child is seeking daddy's validation.
You did not have to say it like that.
But he was. And he was like, son, I remember when I had my first big bust. I'm proud of you. Dad. He's like, now talk to me. He said, well, as a father, as a husband, I just can't wait to get back to my wife. But as a detective, I'm ready.
I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
He is loving every minute of this. I've mentioned this on previous shows. He loved telling Noami he had to get a department because it's so dangerous. This is the shit that Jacob low-key lives for. And I love that he found a partner in Noami that was just like, he is a cop. And that's what he always wanted to do.
The nerve.
And I'm gonna
for him to want to have a baby.
Yeah,
the nerve.
Very selfish. Oh my God! Imagine she was like, because let's say timeline wise, she either would be pregnant right now, or
she'd be 3 or 4 months.
Right, that would be way too much to worry about. But we always give our love to Noami when we're watching the episodes because it's like she has the weight of the world on her shoulders and doesn't even have kids.
Yeah.
And she's dealing with the secret of having the gene, her mom having the gene, her grandmother having cancer. I'm just saying out loud of what she's going through possibly. Still kind of reeling and dealing with the relationship with her father and her best friend. Yep. The guilt of that breaking up her family. Mm-hmm. Then she has Jacob, and I'm just, we're talking about everything that he's going through right now. Like his life is literally in danger all the time. Yep. Then you got this lawsuit with Madison, and this is fiance. Not. I'm about to say this is not just a regular case. This is your sister's fiance's case, and everything rests upon that. Then you add the lawyer element from who she was going to sue before. So it's just like a lot. I'm sure I'm missing something. Davis. It's a lot going on.
And then even just watching Ashley deal with Ashley's transition from Derek to Grayson to nobody. She dealing with a lot.
She is dealing with her, and that's her best friend too. And you don't think there's going to be a connection, but then there is.
She needs to go see Auntie Nicole's mentor. Not even Auntie Nicole. We know you can't, but she needs to see somebody higher. Right. Auntie Nicole's mentor. That's who Noami needs to see. Yes, she does.
Because she, it's a lot. And I think as a lawyer, she's able to compartmentalize things, but she's going to break at some point. So, we always share our love to Noami. And hopefully she gets to her husband gets to come home after next week. I'm really rooting for that. So we mentioned the lawsuit.
Yeah.
So Madison and Chelsea are at Orphe Jean's having an adorable little date because everything they do is adorable. I'm sorry. And some journalist comes out of nowhere with the phone and starts trying to record. And Chelsea reacts the way anyone would probably react and breaks the phone. She's gangsta. Breaks the phone. Luckily, Elon was there, who is a family friend, happens to be the chief of detectives, I want to say. Not chief of police. I want to say chief of detectives. So he's able to, kind of make the situation go away a bit as far as legal action. But people were filming in that cafe and the video goes viral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Kat is like, so...
Well, we knew.
What is this?
Yeah, we kind of knew that would happen. Chelsea, we've seen, her being a public figure, and I don't want to say it, but I guess I say it's like, a little karma. Because she was the one, they brought up her filming when the wedding.
Girl, you really kept recording.
And so it's like
she's true influencer.
Yeah.
I don't even
and that was not even on purpose, but it's like in these situations, that's what happens. People record. But one, I loved her stepping up defending Madison. And I put her, people said, well, she was willing to go to jail. I put the poll, the question up on our communities. How far is Chelsea willing to go? You know what I mean? Yep. We know she does not mess around. Like, she's found true love. I mean, she gave up the party drugs.
She did.
For Madison. She listened to her. She listened to her and said, okay, you care about me. Let's see how far. But, overall, they turned what was, meant for bad into good. Mm-hmm. They went out there and said, you know what? We gonna go live. And then look what happened. Chelsea Cat is going to Tokyo.
I'm so excited for them, and I love that Kat was the one I was like, girl, what is this going to do for business?
Mm-hmm.
That's someone normal. Normal. That someone has to always think about that. I also love how this was a part of Chelsea wanting to spend a day with her mom, which, older sister, Noami, was like, she needs it. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're blessed to have, being kind of, grown on your own, like, when your parents are like, come by, like, I miss you. I need some time with you. So I'm glad that they were able to do that. Chelsea killed the live stream. So that was good. Noami happened to be there when they called. So should we go?
Hold on. Before you go there.
What's up?
Mominger.
Oh, Chelsea was like, all right, girl. All right, mom.
I was like, oh, Chelsea, come on.
But it's that, because she's also like 20. So it's like you bite harder just to enforce the fact that, like, I'm in control, not you. And Danny's just going to have to ride those waves and just like take a step back.
But she can't help it,
She can't help it. But also, if you rewatch those beginning episodes of how we meet Danny, like, she's very controlling of Chelsea. That's like, true. She was controlling what Chelsea was eating. And that's insanity. I don't give a fuck what industry you're in. That's insane. True. So imagine being under that level of control by your manager, but also your mother. So any chance that Chelsea gets, and remember how hard it was for her to feel free. She was gonna play. She was like, oh, nah, ma, no. But they all about to be in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. Shout out to Chelsea Cat. Shout out to the bags releasing new colors.
Yeah.
And being the restocks being available. So please support a real life product that came from the show. And they're really cute bags. So yeah, so let's go to the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Because the lawsuit is still lingering there. They were able to get Madison back in the hospital to see patients. So that was a nice little tidbit that they added in there. Because, like, what do you mean? Say
her life's work.
A person of a person is suing me and I can't see patients on a day-to-day basis. So I am glad that they did that. Madison is so worried. I feel so bad, but I do think that she's in good hands. So that's good. So Bill is also just so happy to be working with Noami. Like, it's like, I feel, and also to help his other daughter too. Like, as evil as Bill is, and yeah, I know I'm a Bill apologist, but he really enjoys being their father. Yeah. And wants to have a relationship with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see Haley is crumbling. You saw when he was like, Danny, he was like, wait, who's on the phone? Danny's on the phone.
The way he lit up.
Yeah. And then she was like, of course, Danny.
This poor girl.
Yeah. And then he's like, wait, Kat's on the phone too? Well, and I'm like, I guess, but things was happening so fast.
So and Kat do not give a fuck.
Yeah, but I do love it. It's like a dream team.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, the duo we've been waiting for. Yep. Bill and Naomi. I'm glad it didn't take this longer. I figured one day it would happen. I'm glad it didn't take long. And then Mike Davis coming back.
That was a shock. Yeah, I remember when they first did the preview of that, and I was just like, wait. And I looked at his face, and I was like, oh, babe, do you know who that is? And even he had a glow up. But once you're going to, he's coming back to the so he got to look a little glowed up a little bit. But he is the one that planted that whole reporter.
I wanted Bill to beat him up so bad.
Harassing Madison and Chelsea to get a reaction. So they start to learn a bit about his strategy. You see Naomi and Bill bouncing off each other ideas about strategy and stuff like that, because now you have to deal with him in this whole thing. So now they're coming up with strategies, which is why I think they are going to come out victorious.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I want to see court scenes. I don't know if I said this on the show or to you, but I would love to see some court scenes.
Oh yeah, I think we do for some court scenes.
Okay. Is that a soap opera thing, or is that something that I'm just...
I've seen Victor Newman in orange jumpsuits before, or jeans. Yeah, he's did some time in jail.
Wow. Okay. That's what makes me so excited about Fairmont Crest, because it's such a new show. There's so many avenues that these characters could go down that I'm so excited for.
Talking about crossovers coming up.
So
I'm wondering, because he's mentioned Michael Baldwin, and Michael Baldwin on The Young and the Restless is actually tied up in a case about Phyllis using the AI strategy to steal Victor's company. So, but Michael Baldwin has always been Victor's guy, but he's representing Phyllis in this. But I'm wondering, so how does this tie in? Is he going to be some sort of connection? Where we know we're getting a crossover. It's just a matter of who. I mean, they may bring Devon back. We know the Articulates are on tour. Anita's getting ready to,
she's bouncing back.
She got that itch. You can see it.
Yeah, and she's supposed to get back to normalcy.
And Vernon, he is the biggest fan of the Articulates.
Clearly.
Almost as big of a fan as I am of those wrestler girls.
Oh, I love that. Subscribe. But so Anita is officially, done with chemo, but then she has that one doctor's appointment to just discuss what's next. And a lot of the options are still kind of, not so good.
Yeah.
Mastectomies and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to go too much into it, but they do a good job of educating women on what can happen, in these scenarios. She has a lot of decisions to make, but she does tell the doctor during her chemo sessions and just overall just thinking about her life, she's had time to think about a lot of these options already, and she's just ready to make a decision and just move forward her life. And I love that energy. I also love Vernon's energy, of course, because he's like the ultimate supportive husband. But I also love how they both was like, we ready to get it in again. Like, it's been a long time. So I do love that. It's very realistic for a couple. And then her not wanting to be a burden to him, and him, it's a complicated, it's a dense situation, but they examine it well.
Yeah, ultimately it is the education storyline.
Right.
And as much as it's heavy, as much as a lot of people don't want to see it, like I know I told you before, my dad wasn't a fan of it at all.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it is the ultimate education story to show that no matter who you are, how much money you do or don't have, you can be affected. And that's why I love, even with the free clinic, that's another ultimate education. Hopefully it's waking up people saying in different communities saying we should have a free clinic, because
health equity.
Health equity. Thank you. That is the exact word, because I was thinking about June and how she can benefit, because we know June has had some health challenges that they've touched on a little bit, but I think ultimately may come back to that as we do see this free clinic get up and running. And then also showing Grayson trying to like come in and Leah trying to infiltrate the free clinic.
Right. 1,000%. So now, that's gonna be very good. So let's move to Joey. So Joey, because he is involved in a free clinic, and I do think that he's gonna become a little bit involved more so, because his name is coming up in the plasma ring, because I think that's like the only criminal that Jacob and Smitty know. So they're like, if there's an outsider, it might be Joey Armstrong. I don't know. But we see him and Vanessa kind of like, because Vanessa is overstepping in a way, and in the same way that I feel like Ashley was, where if I am getting to know my partner, my significant other, and I am venting to you about my family dynamics, especially when you're at that age, because it's not like this just happened. Like, with Joey and his sister, like this is something that, it's been going on. It's a very long, complicated situation. And I vent a little bit to you about it. I don't think that it's up to your partner to cross that line and feel like they got to solve your family's problems. Like we saw Chelsea do that with Madison, and now Chelsea's learning, like, exactly, bitch, you don't know. I said I don't call her bitch, but like, you don't know the complexities of these family dynamics. So she went out of her way to try to find through like her properties, his sister's properties, like where his sister was, and he gets upset and a bit defensive and a little bit like kind of aggressive with her a bit, like with his words, to where she storms out of the casino. How do you feel about that situation?
I mean, it goes to show you brought up something like age wise, right? And you've seen it with a couple that's in their early mid 20s, and now you're seeing it with a couple that's like in their 40s, 50s. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, again, this is way before you, and I feel like a lot of what Vanessa was happening with her is there's this guilt of everything that happened to Doug, so she's trying to right some of these wrongs.
And with Deanna, her relationship with Deanna,
and so she doesn't want nobody else to deal with that. She understands life is short, so what better way? Joey, just fix it. So that's why I think it was happening there.
Yeah, and I feel bad. Like, his reaction, I think, honestly, was warranted. And, everyone's different. Me, I'm just inherently a private person. I'm a Capricorn. I'm like boundaries. Like, there's just, you don't overstep in that way until there is an understanding, I feel like, between them. So it's like, if he says to you, like, I'm respecting my sister's wishes, I'm gonna let her do her and whatever, and then you just overstep that's different. Now, we have multiple conversations over time of our relationship, and it gets to a point where I'm like, I think I'm ready. That's when you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't like that whole, like, I'm gonna go, over your head and fix this problem that you really don't know anything about. So, but then we see Donnell's in town because he's escorting Samantha to the Cotillion, and she goes to see him. And I just really hate, and I would love to know what you gatekeepers think. I think it is so ridiculous and not good that Vanessa has to constantly talk about Joey to her kids. You know how they feel about him. There has to be more in your life than your fucking man. Like, if they already don't feel comfortable around him, then that's just not maybe someone y'all talk about unless y'all have to talk about him. She's always bringing him up and then being confused about, like, why the kids are like, girl.
But is it more in her life?
Oh, she got two thriving businesses.
They don't care about that.
That's true.
You know, but she should be trying to figure out what's in their life, like deflection,
right?
You know, try to connect with them, figure out what they love, you know. And I think that's the reason why Deanna blows up all the time. So I'll be interested to see what happens next week. You know, also wondering what's going to happen with Donnell. He disappearing, but Joey with those the cufflinks.
How do you feel about that? Do you think he was overstepping?
Those was Doug's cufflinks, in my opinion. That was my first thought. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but I was like, did he just really give him Doug's cufflinks?
No, I don't think so. I think those are his.
Okay.
Because he was like, they're on loan. Because wouldn't they like recognize them?
Maybe not. Or maybe if Doug had a different... I don't know. I don't know. But you're right. But on loan, that's also Joey... creating a boundary. I'm not here to replace your father,
and I'm not giving I didn't buy these for you.
And
like,
he don't give nobody nothing.
Yeah.
And he's maintaining that image,
right,
and that aura of Joey Armstrong.
Yes, and that's why I think Vanessa gotta calm down, because you have to meet a man like Joey where he is, and I think he's doing a lot. So like him being like, oh, it's just for the occasion. Take it or leave it. Give it back when you're done. Have a good time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard in those situations because it's so sensitive. Like Donnell said, who's a very smart kid, actually. He was like, that's something a father would do. And I just think I'm not comfortable with him making that kind of initiative towards me, because that's not who he is. I'm still trying to get used to y'all even dating.
Right.
My sister thinks y'all were dating before my dad died, and it has something to do with his death. So, you know, it's a very sensitive subject, but Donnell loves his mom. So he's really trying. That's why I'm like, girl, why are you... Stop. Like, stop talking about Joey all the time. Like, you're literally ruining your own relationship with your kids. And as much as I'm also Vanessa. Apologies. I love my girl, but also, like, you're not the best mom. Like,
yeah, you see it.
You are very self-absorbed and obsessed with... You're man crazy. We met Vanessa as being boy crazy. If you think about it, because remember, she was just the best friend having these little like excursions and public role-playing fantasies and shit like that. Also, girl, yeah, do you, girl. See, there's that like... I don't know. But we had a lot of Vanessa screen time this week.
Which
that one particular episode. About. Yeah, that one particular episode. She was able, because, you know, she is a part of the Cotillion world. Her best friend's granddaughter. And also, that was a funny conversation about grandmothers. I even said it when Nicole was at the country club. I was like, oh, the sexiest grandmother that ever lived, or some shit like that. And then Vanessa is like, I would never get used to calling you grandma. Because I also joked that Vanessa would not be having nobody calling her as grandma.
Right.
At all. So I just thought that was a funny conversation. And I think, especially with Black women, because, you know, Black don't crack, you have a lot of grandmothers that like look much younger than they probably are, and they have grandkids. Yeah. You know, so yeah, Vanessa, she got to focus on what she needs to focus on, you know. But also, Leah summoning her to the hospital to talk about the clinic, and Ashley overhearing that. So that all is about to get super, super messy. Super messy, and it all might hit the fan next week.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, you know, we got to talk about it.
Let's do it.
The fantasies. Keep fantasizing.
She cannot help it. And I think like a lot of women have been in that situation where it's like a movie that just like plays in your head. But what's most interesting to me about it is that she's fantasizing about things that haven't happened yet. So usually it's like, okay, like I had this like tryst or whatever, and I can't stop thinking about it, you know. But she's fantasizing about her fantasies, like, you know, like her
like
in a country club.
If they was married, probably what would be happening? Yeah. You know, Ted would seen her, she liking him fresh out of the gym. And I feel bad for her because she's not addressing it. Now, how does she address it? I don't know.
Fucks Ted.
But the complicated thing with this whole ordeal, and we mentioned her earlier, is Ted seems to finally be a little bit more emotional towards Shanice. He's finally like taken another step. He slipped up and said, I got a lot of love for you. She took it the wrong way. It made things awkward. And what I don't want, like him going to her aunt I respected if he was all in. But I'm not trusting. He's not all in. So I can't, like, I understood what he was doing.
You talked me into that being the right thing. Because, again, I address, like, boundaries. Like, I don't think that's my aunt's business, like, what happens between us. But I see why Ted did it. And in this case, it was the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. So that's the part that was like, oh, man. But I look at it and I feel... Nicole can't keep playing. Like, she's going to get herself hurt. Yeah. She's going back and forth with Carlton and Kyle. She's going to call Ted's name within the next 3 weeks.
Oh, 100%.
Or they're going to sleep together. And I think we said it last week. We said there's going to be a lot of broken hearts.
Garland Hospital is going to be nicknamed Heartbreak Hotel. Because we're going to have 3... Exactly. We're gonna have 3 medical professionals that's gonna be going through it. Yeah. And then we're gonna have 2 medical professionals that's gonna be having the best sex that they've probably ever had in their entire relationship. Just because it's like we're back. And also we can't ignore the chemistry that the real life actors have. We've seen it in the music video.
I do think though, I'm gonna say this. I think if they get back together, there's no turning back. Like,
I think they're locked in.
Yeah, let's say Bill and Danny get back together. They're going to break up again. Yeah. But I think if those two get back together, it'd be the story 10 years from now. People say, man, y'all remember when
they wasn't even together.
Yeah, now look at them locked in.
Do you see them getting remarried?
Yeah.
I was going to say no, but I think for the spectacle of it all, of just like having another, like we talked about the Cotillion being like that landmark moment, I could see them preparing for their second wedding and having cold feet and just the whole thing, Carlton popping up or Kyle popping up or whatever. But like I've said, I think it's absolutely time for Nicole to choose. And I do think just go back to your fucking husband. Like, a year later, Ted is still living in a hotel. That's because he's about to come back home. Ooh. And I just can't wait. I just hope it just brings joy to Kat. And it just makes her like live her life freely again and not hold on to that resentment so much.
So 2 things. I know we got to get out of here. Yeah. 2 things. If they get back together, and if Nicole goes even further to accept Eva as her stepdaughter, right? Not saying she's gonna call her mom, but like she's willing to go far, like
again, because she did
all the benefits, or at least half of the benefits she was going to give Eva before. Will that allow Kat to like, okay, put you back where she was when she went to address her before she saw Tomas coming on the road?
Eventually, hopefully, yes.
All right. What if...
I said eventually, hopefully, yes. So
now, what if Shanice breaks Ted's heart before he breaks hers?
I think that's what she should do. Because, I would see the writing on the wall and just like... Because, mind you...
And then what if he goes to Nicole vulnerable?
Ted goes to Nicole vulnerable.
And then that's how he get it.
Here for it. I think she should get out now because like she said... Our bed feels crowded. Our relationship feels crowded.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so eventually, it's like you're not just dealing with one, you're dealing with the other. And mind you, you're not even worried about the woman that you should be worried about. So you're worried about crazy ass Leslie. Also, I would be tired of dealing with Leslie also. Like, I would just feel like my time and energy is not worth dealing with this fucking woman. And the fact that you don't support me in that and you took her side, like, I already kind of would have been like, I'm done. It was fun. Also, get you some jewels out of it. Anyway,
maybe that's what she's trying to do.
Right. Because I need like something to say. Like, I dated a fucking plastic surgeon. I snagged him. But I would like, you know what? This was fun. Also, the fact that y'all all work together is also messy. Like, I think it's just ran its course in my opinion, and I think she should get out before she gets hurt. And because again, she's not even worried about the right woman. Like, you're worried about crazy ass Leslie, but like. Nicole out here like fucking she was hot and bothered. Like, she didn't even know how to respond to him when she ran into him again after him working out and stuff. So yeah, I'm team Ted and Nicole. I know there are some gatekeepers that are not, but I think most of us are though. Call the hotline.
Yeah, I'm team Ted and Shanice. But if he gonna go with anybody else, it's gotta be Nicole.
So you see a possibility of Ted and Shanice like lasting?
Nah, That's what I want.
But no, I'm sorry. I should say, do you see him choosing Shanice over Nicole? Okay.
Not at all. Okay. Even if he might say it the first time.
Yeah.
But
because it's the right thing to say. But that's why I think Shanice should get out before he ends up breaking her heart. Even with him trying to do the right thing, I think he's going to end up breaking her heart. Because
honestly, deep down inside, I think once he cheated on Nicole, he loved her 10 times more. And I think, I feel like he felt bad about it. Yeah. So it made him, the fact that they was able to get through it, I kind of believe if he would have just confessed before, they'd still be together. I think it's the longevity of the secret. That's what she was. But and then also, who knows? What happened? Leslie don't pull that fire alarm. The divorce wasn't even final yet. Maybe
who knows where we will be right now. So that just makes it all the more interesting going into the future. There's so many things happening right now in Fairmont Crest that are at the boiling point.
Yep.
Next week we got shots fired. Next week we got the cops. We got the bust. We got the cotillion. Next week is definitely gonna be must see.
I think the last time I felt that way was when Chelsea. They was trying to go rescue Chelsea. Yeah. And that was the last I felt give us those episodes now. Yes.
So I think after next week will be a very ideal time to go live.
Ladies, let's do it. I think, what y'all think?
I would love, let us know if there's
coming in the comments, pull your popcorn out.
What day or evening works best for you, because I think even if it's the recap live or something like that, I think could be really, really, really fun.
Yep.
So let us know, gatekeepers. Thank you all, the OGs, the new viewers, the new listeners, the new gatekeepers. We appreciate you being a part of the community. Welcome. We love talking about this show so much. We mentioned our Instagram page. Make sure you follow Loving Them Gates. Call the hotline. Leave your hot takes. Leave your theories, because we want to know if you disagree with us. We want to know about all of it, because we will talk and play these voicemails and these text messages. We will react to all of it because we love talking about Beyond the Gates. Follow our Facebook page, hit that subscribe and like button if you haven't already. And also, if you are a Power fan,
talk to him.
Raising Kanan, Power Book 3, the 4th spinoff, I think. The 3rd spinoff.
Well, it's Power Book 3. Yeah. So technically it's the 2nd spinoff.
Yes, 2nd spinoff of the show is in its last season. And Raising Kanan is my favorite spinoff. So we are actually going to be doing a recap show covering the shows in the Power universe, starting with the final season of Raising Kanan. So you can catch us recapping that show when the show premieres the week of June 12th. But we also have some Power content coming out prior to that as well. So if you are a Power fan, make sure you are subscribed, because we got a lot of Power content coming and we cannot wait to get into that show. Another shout out to our affiliate sponsors. We love adcs.com. Big fan. So make sure you follow them and check out their t-shirts, because we love a good t-shirt.
Because when you're in the NWO, you're in it for life.
Exactly. And on that note, we'll catch you next week. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Loving Them Gates. You can join Brian H. Waters and I every week for recap episodes, spotlight episodes, and fun Loving Them Gates content.